RNG?
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It's
Gets the
gross.
people going.
Random news. RNG. TGP.
TGP
Random news
presents
generator. RNG. RNG. Real nigga
black.
games. Random news. RNG.
Black.
Random
Black.
number generator. RNG. Real nigga games. RNG. TGP. Random news. Random news. RNG. Random news.
Real nigga games.
Samurai Black. D-Ring.
Random numbers.
TGP. RNG. Random news. Random news generator.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of RNG Radio with your host, D-Ray and Samurai Black. Ham, how you doing? I see you got some Marvel stuff in the background.
Oh yeah, there's a little hint. There's some Marvel stuff going on.
There's some things. MCU think they cook in the kitchen back there. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But
how's
I'm
the
good.
weekend going?
It was good. My niece's birthday was yesterday, so
Nice.
it was fun. Kids went crazy.
That's
Harlow
what kids
hurt her
do.
knee again.
Bro, Harlow, what you doing,
Same
baby
knee,
girl?
bro. She was freaking out. So I'm gonna take her to the doctor this week just to make sure it's not like
Like
messed up.
fractured or something.
Yeah, because I was, and it was a little swollen.
I will say, as long as it's not like a constant thing, like throughout the week, she
It's
should be
not.
okay. So I think she probably just like re-hurt it.
Yeah, that's right. But it's just my more thing is like it's 2 times in like 2 weeks. So
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
like, all right, let's just go make sure you didn't like sprain or if it is like just all right, give us some Tylenol for it.
Yeah,
and she'll be
it's
okay.
Tylenol. Quit acting a nut and quit running around.
Yeah, exactly. Control yourself. But other than that, it was good. We hung out yesterday. Today we're supposed to go over to my homie Brian's house. We ain't been over there in a while, so we're gonna go hang out with them.
Nice.
Go chill and relax.
Our week was we drove out to West Virginia on Tuesday. It was a lot more rough this time around because we've driven long distance before, so we drove down to Florida with both the boys. But when we did that, Kendrick's was still using his pacifier, so like any type of like pressure like differences, and when we flew, any type of pressure differences, he still had his pacifier, so he was constantly swallowing. But since he's done with it now, and we went out to West Virginia and all those freaking mountains, he did not like that pressure difference, bro. Because like there were times where he would literally just be chilling, right, just quiet, and just start yelling at the top of his lungs, bro. I was like, it was kind of getting to us because it's like nonstop. I think it's supposed to be like an 8-hour drive. So like it was a while.
Yeah.
It was a while.
Yeah, that's a long time with a screaming baby.
Right. So and like I said, it didn't really start until like we started getting into like the big hills and stuff like that too. So all in all, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. Nice little kind of intimate funeral. Not a ton of people, which is cool. But I will say though, it's funny because. Okay, this isn't funny, but you know how my grandfather passed recently as well, and Katie's parents came to that, and when we got done with this funeral, Katie's dad pulls me aside. He's like, "I'm kind of missing your pawpaw's funeral." I was like, "Yeah, it's a lot different. It's
different
definitely different vibes."
Yeah.
But no, because like we were kind of upset. So like when the guy started, like he kind of stumbled on the grandma Luann's her name. He kind of stumbled on her name a little bit, so like we were kind of worried that it was like kind of a cookie cutter type of thing, and they weren't really like feeling the message that he put out because he talked about hell quite a bit, and I feel like you mention it and keep going, you know what I mean? And he mentioned he only mentioned it because he's like, this is a place you don't want to go, like she went to heaven, blah blah blah. But I was like, okay, like say that. And keep it moving.
Leave it alone,
pushing, bro.
We don't need to circle back to that topic. We could just,
Katie is right too. Yeah, like at one point, Kendrick's like pointed to the pastor and said, "Ho ho ho." I was like, okay, because he did have a big white beard, so like I get it. It was cool.
Oh man.
But other than that, it was cool.
That's good.
It's a lot of family that we don't really get to see often because, like I said, they're in like Virginia, New York, and then Katie's uncle, John, is in Hawaii. He's in Honolulu. So we don't really get to see these guys very often. There's a couple of people that we've seen for like the first time, basically. So,
Oh, that's dope.
so like it was good for the kids, for the boys to be able to see them. They played around with them a lot, so that was good. John said we are always welcome back. So at some
That's
point we
good.
will be making another trip down to Hawaii.
Hey.
So
Hawaii's
I know
nice.
Katie was excited for that.
Yeah, yeah. Just let me know when.
Yeah,
Booking tickets now.
Hawaii is fantastic, bro. Because that's it. It's just tickets. Like remember, these are the I don't know if you remember this. These are the guys that have like the extra apartment.
Yeah.
So it's
you
literally just the ticket to get out there.
It's tickets. Get out there and
Secure the
make it
invite.
happen.
Exactly. And it's cool too because like John was really cool with the kids too because he's obviously older, hasn't had kids or whatever, and his wife Kim, they were both really good with the kids too, so it's always good to see. But yeah, that was my weekend. We drove back on Friday. We drove back on Friday. We're driving down. We're driving again. So now we're coming from West Virginia back to Indiana. So we got to hit all the hills and shit early. Our car does not have the horsepower that her parents' car has. So like they were kind of leaving us in the dust on some of these hills, bro, because they was just booking it, and we couldn't really keep up. But it got so bad that we couldn't see them, and our GPS took us off the highway when they stayed on.
Gosh.
So I swear, for probably like what Katie could probably tell you, like 2 to 3 hours, like we just had no idea. We just weren't together at all. So,
and y'all finally met up again.
Yeah. So the way, so Katie's dad was looking at the map. The way it worked is the highway that he stayed on, kind of goes like straight west, and then he jumps on another highway that goes straight up north, to get to 70 West. 70 West takes us back into Indiana. So that's the way he went. The way we went was basically like diagonal through, what is it like? It's oh my gosh, what's the state? Through West Virginia, go diagonally through West Virginia instead of going straight west and then up. So like we did eventually meet up with each other, but they were so we were like, okay, so like once we hit 70 West, we're gonna find a place to stop and then we'll meet back up. So we found a Chick-fil-A that we could stop at. So it was cool. But
that's dope.
But bro, he kept calling, bro. Like that was one thing though. During the drive, like he kept calling me. It's like, bro, like we're driving, like we're good.
Yeah,
it's okay. Like we're driving, we're good. We got three GPSs. Like we're straight, bro. We're straight. I promise.
We're gonna get there one way or another.
I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you. So that was good. We made it home. Kind of relaxed yesterday. Got Kingston's T-ball stuff.
Nice.
He had to have a green helmet, so we made sure to give him a green helmet. And that starts up at the end of the month. So
it's coming.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that was our weekend.
Nice little trip.
Yeah. But aside from that, we do have news. Obviously, doesn't stop. To kick things off, Venom 3. I feel like we all knew like this was basically like it was coming. It finally got its name, Venom: The Last Dance. So it'll be a trilogy type of deal. Last Venom movie. Do you think it needs to be a trilogy, or could they have just been like, we're good with the two and keep on going? Because I know a lot of people don't really have this rated high on their list, and like, does it really need to have a third movie? Like this whole franchise, this whole series.
I'd say yes, only because of the tie-in to No Way Home. Like that's the only thing that like
keeps it
I feel
going.
like keeps it going and just gives it a wraps it up. You know what I mean? I don't expect Tom Holland or anything to pop up in it, but it would be dope to see it. But yeah, it's just kind of still like wrap up its story because it kind of still is left in the open because he left and then he came back and now it's like, well, what's he gonna do now? You know what I mean?
Right,
There's no carnage. So I think it'll be cool. Is it necessary though? I don't think it's necessary, but I mean, I understand it to a sense. I guess you can say.
So Last Dance. Who you think somebody's dying, or what are we thinking? What are we thinking?
I
Or do you just think I think he's just gonna leave him. I think he's gonna
Yeah, I
leave
think they're gonna split.
Brock. Yeah, I think they're gonna split.
Yeah.
Don't know why. I can't like really picture why, because like they're pretty bonded. And like if you look at the comics, Venom and Brock are like the perfect match for each other. So
Yeah.
it's really weird to see for him to just simply leave.
Yeah.
That would be really weird unless he leaves for another Brock in Tom's universe. That's the only thing that I can think. And so I don't know. That's the only thing, because like
And be like that understanding, like we're done. You know what I mean? Like we had a good.
we've
run.
done
It's
everything
like
we
that.
need to do.
Yeah. It's like I'm gonna go work out. I'm gonna go check out this new universe now, kind of thing. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And then I think that would be dope. They introduce Eddie into the MCU too, so like Flash doesn't get it, Eddie gets it.
That's
okay with
the
that.
only thing I think of, because like obviously like Eddie, Flash does get it, but the connection between Brock and Venom is
Mhm.
unmatched. And,
Yeah, it
if,
is.
if you read like some of like the actual Venom comics, like it'll tell you like those two are the perfect combination. That's one of the reasons why he goes to it's Eddie's son, right? Like
Mhm.
late, like current in the comics, he's moved on to
Yep.
Eddie's son. So like
Mhm.
they're like the perfect match. I feel like they kind of illustrate that in this franchise as well. So we'll see. It'll be really weird to see what happens. But like I said, it's called The Last Dance. So
It's supposed to be dropping this year too.
he's either leaving or somebody's dying. Like
Yeah,
I,
one of the two.
it's one of those
One of the
two,
two.
bro. I don't know what else to tell you. Anyway, moving on from Venom. Where is that? I need that. Teen Titans. So obviously this is just the image for Titans, the CW show. But there is apparently a Teen Titans live action movie currently in development over at DCU. Or DC, or actually I have to look it up. Was it DC? Is it DCU or DCEU?
It's
Did they-
DCU.
Okay, so DCU. So not in the what matters technically.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
we do still have a live action Teen Titans movie in the works. I'm always a fan of Teen Titan content because Teen Titans are probably one of my favorite things about DC, bar none. I picked the image of this show because this is what I don't want it to be, because Titans has like some pretty deep, pretty solid moments, but then there's a lot of moments where I'm like, bro, like how are you dropping the ball this hard?
It built up to just drop the ball so many times in that show, and it'd be so good and then just get so bad like 2 episodes later. You're just like, dog, how is this possible? Like, how are you doing this? I don't understand.
Because it's in the DCU, like obviously it's gonna be for entertainment. It's not gonna be in the overarching story, which kind of stinks because I feel like introducing Teen Titans would be really, really cool. But I get it, because obviously like when you have Teen Titans, you gotta have Dick Grayson. And obviously because the DCEU is more or less starting over, you got to build up Batman before you can bring, unless you're going for an older Batman and Dick Grayson's already passed. But like those are two characters like that it's really hard to skip over.
And when you have the Teen Titans, you kind of have to have them. You know what I mean?
You have to, at least in the beginning, like you had, because like there's obviously different iterations of Teen Titans, but Dick Grayson's always around. Like whether he's Nightwing or whether he's Robin, bro, like he's somewhere around. So I don't know. I think it'll be cool. It doesn't really matter in the overarching story. But if do you think that they should go with like the original cast, or who are you thinking should be in these Teen Titans?
They should. Yeah, well, as far as like heroes,
not the heroes, not the show, not the show.
God, no, heroes.
Not the show.
Yeah, you kind of. If you're gonna do Teen Titans just out of the blue, I can see them trying to make like an extended team, but you got to have the core.
Yeah,
you got to have Beast Boy, Starfire, Cyborg, Nightwing, and Raven. You got to have them. Like at the end of the day, like that is who the Teen Titans were. That is what they are. You know what I mean? Like there is Young Justice, which is like a super extended Teen Titans thing. And I can even see them like hinting at it late at the end of the movie, like, you know, like
Getting more people
I mean
to join
that
up.
it kind of took us a long time to defeat that one. We might need some more people, you know, add some more people and then be like, oh, I got a few in mind, kind of thing. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like I could see that. But yeah, as far as the cast, you need the core. You need to start with the core. I won't accept anything else. If the core is not there, or even like as them, like, yeah, they need to be in the group. I don't want Dick to be a leader and everybody else living lives and he's like training the new Teen Titans. I don't need that. I need the core Teen Titans. Give
Well,
me
so
that.
like, and that was my thing because like when I first heard about it, and when I was thinking that it was actually part of the DCEU, I was like, you know what, that'd be kind of dope because if you do Teen Titans, you have Dick Grayson. You can have Dick Grayson as Nightwing already, older Starfire, Blue Beetle. You can put him into it. You can move on from fuck, what's Fuckboy's name? That was the Flash. That went on his
Wally?
crazy. Well, not, but yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like you can move on to Wally instead of doing
Barry?
instead of doing Barry, because Barry's whole thing with the Flash movie. So like you can skip that.
Okay, sorry. Yeah,
Right.
sorry. I'm just confirming that it's going to be a part of James Gunn's.
Oh, is okay. So it is
universe,
DCU.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So yeah. So
Well, no, DCEU used to be the old one, so now it's DCU.
okay. So I was mixing them up.
Yes,
So
yes,
I'm
yes.
dumb. I'm dumb. Okay, but yeah. So yeah. So like, I mean, if it's a part of DCU,
Yeah.
then you could bring in Blue Beetle into it, and like that could be his like he's had his movie, that could be his tie-in to an overarching story. Flash is obviously done. You can bring in it'd be actually funny. It's like I know they could be talking about the Flash is like, yeah, like we can't get him, but I know this other guy or whatever, and then bring in Wally or something
Yeah,
like that.
that'd be dope.
So
I'm okay with that.
kind of like a mixture of like the original cast. Well, I think you're right. I think we have to have Dick Grayson, whether he's Nightwing or Robin. I don't care. Like that
Yes.
part to me doesn't matter. That obviously just determines like how old the cast is going to be. You got to have Starfire. You better have Raven.
You better have Raiden.
Better have Raven. Like that's a heavy hitter. I want Beast Boy. And I would be really surprised if they didn't have Beast Boy.
I could see them not doing Cyborg.
Exactly. That's what I was going to get to. I can see them not doing Cyborg. A, because you have Blue Beetle. B, because everything that happened with the original Cyborg for DC in the Justice League movie. So because like I know because like there was a lot of beef between the actor and the director. So I can see them. I can see that could be in like the starting cast, but I don't know. We'll see. We're obviously. I mean, this is a development. We're ways away from it. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. Hopefully, it's good. I mean, James Gunn is cooking up over there, so
He's cooking. He's Chef Boy and Ardeen over there.
Yeah. We'll see how it all turns out. I hope the best for him though, because I do like DC. I do like some stuff in DC. So you know, more superheroes is better for us.
Something that has a little more love-hate relationship. So Star Wars. Ham told me this morning. So like Ham doesn't like to send us everything throughout the week. He likes to hold off on a couple things so he can surprise me, like as I'm getting shit ready for the show. We apparently have 4 new movies in the works for the Star Wars franchise. And first off, when he said 4, I was like, yo, why the fuck is it 4? But it's not like another trilogy, thank God.
Yes.
So we have 4 movies. The first one that we talked about is kind of an obvious one, a Mando movie. So we're gonna have Jon Favreau working on a Mando movie, which like I said, I think that's pretty obvious. Like Mando is almost like universally loved and appreciated. Does really well. Gets really good numbers on streaming services, so that makes sense. So getting a Mando movie in there. We also saw that there is going to be a movie about the dawn of the Jedi, so like thousands of years before like the whole Skywalker thing, just like the very beginning. It's gonna be we're gonna have James Mangold at the helm for that movie. He worked on projects like Logan, and is the Dial of Destiny the newest one, or is it 2 movies ago?
No,
For
Dial
Indiana
of Destiny
Jones
is the newest one.
Okay, it is the newest one. Okay, so Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny. when he told me Logan, I was like, all right, cool, bet, let's do it. I'm with it. So the beginning of the Jedi is just a whole Jedi Order, the Mandalorian movie, and it said that we should what was it, Prime, Jedi Prime, the Prime Jedi,
Prime Jedi, yes.
So yeah,
That's
so
like
that,
you only hear about stuff like that in the books. You know what I mean? If you read the books and you go into the lore and stuff like that. So I think it'll be good to see a lot of this, like how it all started and stuff. So
speaking of which, one of the movies is going to be kind of really diving on the New Republic and kind of closing up a lot of the storylines that were not closed during the series. That's not a word. The series that we've had in Disney Plus. So like some of those storylines in Book of Fett, Ahsoka, Mando that didn't really like get its full closure. We should get some more clarity on those storylines in that New Republic movie. And then we have a movie where, and this is the one that's probably going to piss people off, we have a movie with Rey returning. This is supposed to be about 15 years after the defeat of the Sith, and the rise of Skywalker. How do you feel about Rey coming back? Because I don't think I've ever like asked your opinion on Rey at all. Because I don't dislike Rey. Like I don't dislike her that much.
I think
she's
like
she's plot armor to the max. Like
nigga,
don't get me wrong.
Bro,
Like,
if plot armor would
like Goku level plot armor for sure.
She shits on Goku, dog. Like you gotta remember, bro. First movie, she was holding her own against Kylo, nigga. A nigga that was trained by that man,
bro. Like like that's.
And then went and trained on the Sith, bro. So like. Yeah, he's kind of like, you know, with Darth Plagueis, who is also that nigga on the dark side. So it's like she held her own again. I just feel like, yes, there's a lot of plot armor with her. I mean, like the fact that she's not a Skywalker and is actually what the fuck? What's his name?
Solo.
No, she's not.
No.
She's the
granddaughter of what's his name? Palpatine. Goodness, jeez.
Palpatine. There you go. Yeah. Thank you. I'm like, what is his name? Why am I like? So like,
I was so mad. I was in my mind. I was thinking this. I was watching the scene where Rey killed Han, and I was like, damn, bro, like that fucking sucks.
Yeah, so
yeah,
I can see her trying to like
Palpatine,
struggle with the dark side. I don't know. I like the series more than like this movie because it, you know what I mean? Like it just kind of continued on from where we kind of left off. It also gave us a new story that had, yes, Ahsoka has to do with the Skywalker, you know what I mean? But like it's kind of like their own thing. Mando is his own thing. Boba Fett is his own thing. And there's no overarching Skywalker kind of like lore hanging over it. You know what I mean? It's kind of its own story. So
I'm just over the Skywalkers, bro.
Yeah,
like all of them. Like
I mean, I like Obi-Wan was amazing. Obi-Wan was amazing. And it was good because it's like, yeah, it's not like too much. You're not creating a brand new story. You're just giving us like
you're feeling it. You're feeling it.
Yes, exactly.
Because we knew what happened. We knew like the whole.
We knew what happened before we knew what happened.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I don't know. As far as her story goes, I don't know how they're gonna do it. I'm not too excited for that. For the other movies, though, hell yeah, I'm here for it. But Rey,
I'm curious to like where like they're trying to take it because I feel like that the audience as a whole has voiced the same opinions. Like, yo, like I'm kind of over the Skywalkers at this point. So like, and when we talk about Rey, and although she's not a Skywalker, she's very closely tied to them. So like if you're gonna have Rey, like the Skywalkers are gonna be brought up. So I'm curious the direction they're gonna go. Like if they completely ignore the Skywalkers, okay, sure, let's do it. I'm with it. But you know they're gonna rear their ugly head up eventually. So but yeah, those are the 4 movies. So like we said, a movie with Rey returning. It's about 15 years after the defeat of the Sith. I really hope they don't try to make I know everybody likes him, but I hope they don't try to make Grey Jedi a thing with this movie. Because, you know, obviously like she like what Rey's training could lean towards that. And I hope they don't. I hope they don't, because
I
that's
really
that
hope they
that
don't
that's gonna stir up like I think that's when like the OG Star Wars fans are just done.
Yeah, that's where you lose everybody. That's where you lose them.
But the other three, I'm down with the very beginning
Yes.
of the Jedi, a Mando movie,
And then
and
one
the
to
New
like
Republic.
tie up everything. Yeah, I'm
For
excited
sure.
for it.
San Diego Comic-Con. San Diego Comic-Con, huge, probably one of, if not the biggest comic conventions, stateside. Last year, Marvel, the MCU, actually skipped going to San Diego
Mm-hmm.
Comic-Con. It was during that was during the writer strike, so they didn't make an appearance. And we typically get a ton of news about what's coming up, and what Marvel and DC and everybody else, what they're all cooking up for the next year or so. They
Mhm.
have confirmed that they are returning to San Diego Comic-Con this year. And we've already got some rumors of things that we might be released or talked about. I saw the Blade cast on there,
Yes.
which doesn't really sit well with me if we're still talking about who the cast is. Like, bro, like this is
Well, it's just a reveal of the cast, so like that's just
yeah.
it's just coming on letting you know who's gonna be in it. That is,
So
they could
here's my
be.
thing. So we just got the reveal of Fantastic Four, right?
Mhm.
When is Fantastic Four coming out?
Next year.
We hope. We hope.
Bro, but you got to also understand, just because they reveal the cast doesn't mean like they're okay. We're barely starting now. Like no, like the reveal of the cast can.
I hope not. I hope not. I hope that's not the case, because the pessimist in me, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Is like, bro, like they barely moved forward with this project, and that would just be a buzzkill. But rumors are that we're gonna get a reveal of the Blade cast, also the Galactus Silver Surfer cast, which I think is really, really dope. It's kind of
And
weird.
also our first look at Sentry too. I'm excited for that.
I was getting to that, but
Oh,
yes. So
sorry.
no, you're good. No, you're good. I was gonna say it's kind of every time I hear Galactus, I
Mhm.
think of the end or restart of the MCU after that point, because
Mhm.
Galactus is definitely one of those like end of storyline beings. Like you can 100% try to reset it. So when we talk about Galactus, I always wonder, is like, are we getting to a point where we're ready to reset the MCU and kind of like, either start from scratch or do whatever. But that's either here, because we don't know anything about what Galactus is gonna do or what kind of role
Or
he's
when
playing,
he's coming.
or when. And there are still entities you can do out that beyond Galactus.
Yes,
So,
yes,
yeah.
most definitely.
And then, like Cam said, we are supposed to get our first look at Sentry, which I know a lot of people are excited for.
I'm excited because that they change actors. So like I'm excited to see how they're gonna look. I'm also excited for Silver Surfer because I remember there was the big rumor going around that they were gonna
Gender swap.
they're not gender swapping them, they're gonna keep him male. So I'll be excited to see. I'm excited to see the look they're gonna go for.
That was the big rumor, man. That was the big rumor, is the gender swap.
They would, and they came out a
They
few
said
weeks
that they
ago, and
were,
they were
yeah.
like they're just like, yeah, we're gonna keep it the same. But I'm excited just to see how they look. Like
I am too.
The looks go a long way with superhero movies, because they, you know what I mean. There's a certain look they have to look. Now, granted, you can put your own little twist on to give them a cool little updated suit or whatever, but there's a look that Sentry has to have.
I feel you on that one. But yeah, kind of keep it on with that type of news with Marvel. We are also working on Nova. Now, I know a lot of people. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't know Nova. So I'm sure that if this news, if this gets announced at like SDCC, so like that, we might see a Hams declassified on Nova. Maybe, perhaps we'll see. But quick rundown: who's Nova, and why is this such a big deal? Because this is a big deal. Nova's kind of that dude, bro.
Quick little thing. Nova is there's been multiple iterations of Nova, but Nova is basically, if you guys have ever seen Guardians of the Galaxy, there is, the Nova Prime, the Nova Core, basically when Thanos went to go retrieve the Power Stone, he destroyed the whole planet of Xandar, and only one person remained with the helmet of the power of the Nova. All the basically like the soul and the power of the planet went into the helmet and gave granted whoever had that helmet the power, which Richard Rider became one, and he was Nova. He was also a part of he's a big part of the Guardians of the Galaxy. After Star-Lord leaves, Nova's kind of the one that the head and runs the Guardians of the Galaxy. He is
Which
like,
Chris Pratt has kind of said, "Hey, I might be done."
yeah. So, and I mean, there is, if you've watched the Guardians 3 at the end, they said legendary Star-Lord will return, which legendary Star-Lord is kind of the one that, coaches and teaches Nova a little bit on how to be a good leader, because you know what I mean? Like, granted, Star-Lord has his own specific way of doing things. Star-Lord is a great leader. He is a great leader. He is
Don't let the MCU fool you, because
yes.
well, first off, don't let TV like movies and stuff fool you, because like
Yes.
they do that shit to Cyclops as well, which pisses me off. Like,
And Cyclops is top tier leader.
Top
Like
tier.
a tactician leader, like he should strategically take you out with a team, bro. Like give him a squad, he'd be like, all right, bet we got this. Like so, yeah, it's a little bit about Nova. He's able to fly. He is able to shoot energy beams from his hands and stuff like that. So he has like a cosmic power to him, kind of a little bit like Captain Marvel in the MCU. So it'll be exciting to see another superpower, kind of like, very
Rival.
tankish kind of character. Yeah, rival going there. He does have a lot of interactions with Spider-Man. He's in a couple of the TV shows, throughout the comics, stuff like that. He's a young kid, so he does go along around with the Young Avengers, but he's more aimed towards the Guardians of the Galaxy, which at the end of 3 kind of sets it up, because they're kind of like a put together ragtag team of people, and it would be dope to see him getting picked up and put along. So yeah, it's been rumored a lot for him to be coming around, and there's been hints at him a lot. So I'm excited for it, dude. I'm excited. I'm so excited for them to bring some of these not known characters in here, because there's a lot of characters in Marvel that a lot of people don't know about that are really strong and that are really dope characters that bring a different sense to certain teams and movies and stuff like that.
It's gonna be really funny, like what, because like Miss Marvel is one of those. I think people kind of sleep on like how powerful Miss Marvel can actually be. Like Miss Marvel is one of those. Obviously, Nova, if we get him coming through, it's gonna be really funny when like these characters come in and start rivaling rivaling like the Spider-Mans, the Captain Marvels, the Captain America and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, like why are they buffing these characters? It's like, nah, bro, they're not. They're not. I promise you, they're not, bro. I'm gonna need you to chill. I understand that you're an MCU fan, but some of us are Marvel fans.
Exactly,
and we know. So Nova coming around is actually gonna be really, really dope.
Yeah.
And then we had some news that kind of came out. This is more on the video game side of things from Riot Games. So Riot Games, really big company. Their probably claim to fame is League of Legends. League of Legends has been around since the dawn of time, basically, at this point. He probably one of the most, actually no, not probably the most successful esport on the planet. You cannot convince me otherwise. The most successful esport on the planet. But they are actually taking advice from another Riot game, Valorant. So Valorant, much newer, came out in 2020, tactical FPS, hero shooter game. But recently they have Riot and the has kind of changed the way that the pro scene works. So the pro scene was franchised, and they picked certain organizations to be franchise orgs with Valorant, which that by itself, you could argue if it's a good thing or a bad thing. But from that, they worked with the franchise teams and created a bundle, a cosmetic skin that you can purchase in game. So all of the franchise teams have their own, they call it the capsule bundle, which is a skin for the pistol, the default pistol, the classic. A gun buddy is like a little chain that's on the actual gun, little charm on the gun. And a banner that you can display to kind of celebrate like the team that you follow, that type of thing. But so it's funny because this is very similar to what Apex and Respawn were going to do, but the idea got canned. I don't know now. I don't know the details of what was going to happen with revenue split, but the way the revenue split works with Valorant and Riot is going to be that Riot and the org, so like TSM, no, not TSM, TSM's not franchise. So Sentinels, Loud, whoever, Riot and the org take 50% of the proceeds, and the other 50% gets split across the players of that team. So the players are getting incredibly incentivized to do this. And it's gotten a lot of positive feedback. They actually, I want to say this launched like the beginning of February, I believe. It's around the time that the capsule launched and it was available for purchase. They've already hit the minimum their minimum goal for the capsule bundle sales, like already, and it's been around for a month and a half. So everything else is just like more money in everybody's pocket. And I wanted to bring this up because I saw during Sentinels just qualified for playoffs for the international tournament that's going on right now. And Zelsis was interviewed after the match. And Zelsis it's been kind of a joke, but basically anytime Zelsis tweets or goes on a stream or gets interviewed, he mentions, "Hey, buy the Sentinels bundle. Hey, buy the Sentinels bundle." And at this point, it's a meme. He almost sounds like a used car salesman, and it's a funny thing, haha. But he kind of went into it because they were asked, like, "Hey, like," I think they asked, like, "Yo, how many Sentinel bundles do you think you're responsible for that have been purchased?" And he went on. He's like, "Listen, like I know it's all a joke, but like this is something that helps out the org. It helps me out." Obviously, because like we get a portion of it as well, but it's just good for like esports as a whole, because that's one thing that's happening is all of these orgs are they're all in the red. They're all losing money. So anything to really push and get community engagement and potentially like get some of these orgs out of the red and even into just the black, like, is gonna be super beneficial. So like, yeah, of course I'm gonna push it. And I was like, dude, like I think that's really dope because he's obviously kind of like a big jokester and he's like the hype guy for the team, but definitely understands like how big of an impact this could be. So hopefully other esports kind of take notice and do something like that as well. Apex, we're looking at you, bro.
Yeah, we're looking right at you, Respawn.
Because you were supposed to do it first. Because like you remember those mock-ups that they had, right? Like I think they were all like already made and like they looked sick, bro. They I think like TSM had like a 301 skin or something like that, bro. It all looked sick.
They just dropped the ball.
They just dropped it, yeah. So hopefully that goes well with them. But all of this to say, League of Legends is going to do something similar to where they can try to help support some of the orgs that are franchised with them and have some in-game skins with a similar type of revenue split. Apparently, except for in China, because they have their own monetization apparently that's going on and they're doing fine, and they already have specific in-game content that is specifically for China. Like they have trading cards and shit that are in-game and stuff like that. I was like, all right, cool. Like, hey, more power to you. Keep going. But
that's dope.
Esports as a whole is way different. Not I think I said China. I meant Korea. Esports as a whole is just way different over there than anywhere else. So I get it. But yeah, that's right. And we're gonna let him take over the next topic. Because now it is time to talk about we're gonna have a little bit of spoilers here. Ninja Kamui had a new episode this past week. As I was driving to a funeral, him made sure to text me and said, "Bro, listen, I know you're not home, but get HBO Max on your phone and watch the episode." He was not wrong. Right, so spoilers have been issued. Have take us through episode. I think it's 5, right? Episode 5.
5, yes, 5. All right. So it 4 ended with he gone literally face to face with his homie Zai that he hasn't seen in a while, and it's kind of weird because he's like, basically was just telling him like, yeah, like you're not gonna make it out of here, and it kind of like pans to a different scene. And it's kind of weird because like I don't know exactly how like what happens after they see each other, because you don't know what happens because it just goes on about the thing. So then it pans back to Mike, who was the detective that was working with Higan. And he's kind of on his own, and he pulls up into this arcade, and there's this guy sitting there, and he's just basically like, he knows the guy used to work for Aozua, and is basically he's working for Aozua, but trying to show that like they're doing dirty stuff. So he's in hiding, and Mike's like, it's all right, like I'm gonna work with you, like let's go down here and get to work. So they start getting to work. Oh, dude starts clicky clacky.
Bro has this whole gigantic server room built into this abandoned arcade. It's wild, bro.
Yeah, Mike walks up to a game. He's like, man, I remember playing this when I was a kid. Move it.
Move that shit aside, bro.
He's like, there it is.
The dude was so surprised too. He's like, yo, how did you know?
Exactly. So then they're working, and the guy's going through, and he's like, well, I can't really like break into their stuff. He's like, well, we can just look at what the kind of shit they've been doing, because you'll be surprised at what they do, what they leave in their like just their, I guess, their local files, I guess you can say. So they know there's not too like
it was like a network server that he was looking at.
So he goes, and he's just like, oh yeah, this is nothing. Oh, he's like, oh, but look at this. He's like, what is this? And it said bounty. And
Bound. It was bound.
Yeah. He said bound. He's like, what is this? And he clicks bound. And it was weird because everything else was in Japanese except for bound.
Right.
Bound
everything else was in like really formatted and things like that. And this was just the word bound. Yeah.
So he clicked on it, and it popped up this little pop-up, boom, and it just had a shit ton of names. But then it had numbers next to them. It looked like
social security numbers, and then like a dollar amount.
Yeah, because like some of them there was like hundreds, but some of them it was like 100,000s and stuff like that. And there was a bunch of names, and he's like, "What are these?" He's like, "Are these people that they're working for? You know, like this." He's like, "Nah, they might be just fake names that they use as for operatives. So it's basically like they're ninjas that they have out on the open." And Mike is just sitting there for a second. He goes, "Wait, what the?" And he sees Emma's name there,
right in there, bro. Bro, she's a plant, bro. She's a plant. I knew she was too good, bro. She was too good at her job. She was too good at figuring this shit out, bro. Episode 2, she was like already like diving into this super secret organization. Nah, she's a plant. Fuck her.
She was working with them. She had all the information on Alza. She had the super high tech car that was armored up and everything like that. And he saw her name. He's like, well, do you think maybe like, he's like, oh, maybe it's just two people with the same name. And he's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. So,
and then tell him what happened right after he saw her name.
As soon as he sees her name, the dude's like, oh shit, they got me. And you see everything is like access denied. He's like, oh shit, they here. Aozua pulled right the fuck up, nigga, expeditiously on these niggas. So then they're right there. Yo, what up, Bing? How you doing? So they obviously like break out, boom, or they get out from underneath the bunker, and they're actually on the top level. So the agents are going in, they're hiding behind a little counter, and Mike hits the switch on some of the arcade games, and they turn on. The guys start shooting the arcade games, and they get done. They're like, oh, it's just, that guy pulls halt. They stop shooting. They're looking. All of a sudden, they hear footsteps. They turn around. This nigga Mike and old boy hop in the whip, bro, and start dipping, bro. So he's
out
like,
there,
these
boy.
niggas is on us. He's like, I think the FBI flipped on me. Mike is like, niggas is turned on me, bro. He's like, we just got to get out of here. All of a sudden, nigga, the Alger agents start pulling up. Mike yelling at the dude like, yo, nigga, go faster. The dude's like, nigga, this is your piece of shit car, bro. This is as fast as it goes, nigga. So Mike like, all right, time to pull the blicky out. He pull out, start dumping, boom, boom, hit some of them.
I hate when the shows do this, bro, because like they got fully automatic weapons, like missing everything. Mike, pew, pew.
Taking niggas out one shot, bro. Taking niggas out, dude.
Dunzo.
The dude says, he's like, man, you're a really good shot. But Mike ends up getting hit. Car ends up crashing, and then it pans back to Higan. So now Higan is sitting in the tunnels. He's still just chilling, and they call themselves the Affiliated Council. Though it's the 6 people. So it's Yamaji, who's the big head ninja dude. There's Joseph, who's like the leader of Aozua, and then there's Lil. It's the little guy who looks like a grown ass man. It's weird. It's weird as shit.
It's odd.
There's a girl named Dilly. She has like these red dreads. She's Joseph's secretary. And then there's 2 other people that we haven't really learned too much about, but their name is Asuka. Asuka's the one with the masked earring and has like the scales on his face.
Yep.
And then the black guy is Big D. That's his name. So they're sitting there talking, and they're like basically like trying to figure out what to do with Higan. And Lil was like, "How about we just let this nigga in the city?" It's like, "Fuck it, just let that nigga in here." He's like, "He ain't gonna beat all of us." He's like, "That secret arc shit ain't gonna work with me." And so Joseph is like, they're all sitting there like, you know what? Fuck it. You know, Yamaji's like, all right, like if that's what y'all want to do, we're gonna do it. So then whoever has been, we still haven't figured out, but whoever has been talking to Higan,
he's in that room, bro. He's in that room somewhere. It's one of them. I don't know
you
which
think it's
one.
Joseph?
I don't know who it is, but who else?
Or
Like,
Dilly. Oh,
it could be Dilly. Because
all right, so
you know,
we're gonna talk.
secretaries turn on people all the time.
Yep.
But yeah, because like what Ham was about to say is that as soon as that meeting is over, the whoever's helping him with the inside calls him to say, "Hey, they're gonna let you in. It's a trap, but if you're gonna go, like this is the time you gotta go." So like, dude, nah. Like it's gotta be like he's in that
somebody in there,
somebody in that room, somebody.
Or
on the
what
six.
if it's Emma?
Nah, she a rat.
You don't want to believe it, bro. You don't want to believe it, bro. You don't want to believe it, bro.
Nah, she's a rat, bro. She's a rat. And I feel betrayed. I feel used. I feel all. I have too many emotions right now. Nah, she's a rat, bro.
I can't see your face right now. I can't do it.
Nah,
right now.
I'm glad she wasn't in the episode because I was gonna be screaming at my monitor.
You trifling ass. Oh man. So Higan gets the call. He says, "Yeah, I don't care. I'm going to get." He keeps muttering that man's name,
bro.
Yamaji.
This is like think of this is like Naruto and Sasuke screaming each other's names level, bro. He just keeps saying Yamaji, like, bruh.
So he starts making his way through their building, and he's making quick work of all of these like low level ninjas, which they're not really like they're low level, but they're still ninjas.
Yeah, they're still good. Yeah.
And bro, he's literally
not stopping
on these niggas.
He's not stopping running. Like he just literally is running through them.
Continuous movement, run, do, bro. There was one. He stops one time, bro. He stops one time.
Yeah, he jumps the skull with bombs, bro.
So there's a crowd of them. There was probably I'd say 15, a good 15 of them.
Easy, yeah.
On this pathway, there's one way, kind of walkway. He runs, does a little fucking, aerial, a little over them. They look
so you can see the whole group.
Yeah. So he's like, they're all looking, and then he grabs one of these niggas, bro, and they throw their swords at him. He gets pieced up by all their swords, and he turns the man's head around, shoves 6 bombs in this nigga's mouth, bro, and then disappears into the dark and just leaves his body yeah, that's for y'all.
Yeah. Big ass explosion, bro.
Bro, it was so cold. So cold. So then he's making his way up, and it cuts to Yamaji on a helicopter. He kind of just smirks and looks back, and he gone. And this little Naruto, bro, screams his name, and he's latches on to the
don't forget. So he gets into this room, and there's 4 giant freak these are
robots,
8-9 foot robot ninja thing, the robot ninja exosuits or some shit like that. Doesn't focus on them at all. Focuses on the dude that's 50 yards out in a helicopter just floating around. That's what he's focused on.
Yeah, yeah. Not these big niggas that obviously seem clear to be a problem. So is Lil, the guy's name is Lil, and then there's 4 of them. There's 3 other people in them. They're armored up, and they have
they're exosuits, bro. It's
they're
crazy.
It's kind of, and it looks like they have because some shit's glowing on them. I don't know if that's just the aesthetics of it or anything of it, but I don't know if that has something to do with it. But they get to going, bro. So at first they kind of hit Higan across he punches Higan, flies him over there. The other one catches one leg, kicks him down. Meanwhile, they hit him a couple times, all right? And Higan tries to do his secret art, and the dude, Lil, even says, he's like, yeah, this secret art ain't gonna do shit.
Those OG ninja moves aren't gonna work on us. I was like, damn, bro, you got my man old? Jeez.
So he does that, creates a distraction. Nigga still is trying to go after Yamaji, bro. Bro, shoots a little grapple at the helicopter, starts grappling up. Yamaji's little side dude pulls out the gun, starts shooting, shoots his grapple off. So Higan falls back down. And he realized at this point, he's like, all right, bro.
All right, I gotta take care of these foods first.
Man looks at his wrist. He pulls a. Now I still don't know what the fuck this did, bro. But he pulls a pin from underneath his skin and stabs his shoulder.
It's gotta be injected with something, dude. Because like homie goes like he doesn't yell or whatever and goes Super Saiyan, but homie gets a buff. Like that's an all around buff, bro.
It like breaks his body a little bit, but then he gets hit and then he just stands up.
He just takes shit. He takes shit. He's able to like because they showed like in the very first like before he even tried to go for Yamaji, like he kicks one of the robot things and like nothing happens. But now like he's able to stab through shit. He's able to kick stuff like
because he stabbed one, that shit blew back. His eyes are full white now at this point. They are full fucking white.
But if you remember, this is the thing that they the doctor dude in the episode in the second episode told him like, hey bro, and he remembered it like right before he did it. He's like, if you do this again, you're probably gonna die, so don't do it again. So
and he was like,
homie's like he's risking it all, bro.
And he starts getting to the money, bro. Beats up one, stabs another one in the back. That shit kind of break down, and he has like this mist going around, so you can't even really see him. And then he pulls up on Lil, goes to hit him, and then he hits Lil, and it looks like he's about to give Lil a finishing punch, bro. Like he's about to strike this nigga, and all of a sudden he gets hit by something.
There's a bunch of blades, and then one of the exosuits throws a bunch of blades at him. Yep.
Like a barrage of blades at him. He gets hit by like a couple of them, and then she picks him up. And then Lil walks up and goes, hey, this is supposed to be my bitch. And just starts throwing this nigga, bro.
I started laughing my ass off, bro. And then he started tagging him too, bro.
Bro, mixing them all up. Bing, 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 ding, 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 ding. And so then Lil's obviously like, all right, bet, I'm about to kill this nigga. And as soon as he's going down to hit him, Yamaji's sitting up in the plane looking, kind of giving him a smile like, yeah, nigga, you dead now. Right before he hits him, you just hear it. And Lil looks like, what the fuck?
Nah, everybody does. Like they go from person to person. Like homie was working out on the treadmill and slipped on it, bro. I'm like, first I'm like, bro, like this is kind of important. Why are you working out right now, bro? Like
he's over this ready.
This is not the time to get your cardio in, my guy.
Everybody stops like, yo, what the and then they throw some bomb, and the bombs kind of creates a little explosion. And one of the exosuits, so now they had made it a point throughout this fight to show Lil's face in his exosuit. And there was another guy, because when Higan stabbed him in the back, he was like, oh, so you saw another guy's face, but this specific exosuit, you never saw the person's face in it. They had grabbed Higan, and they jumping off.
So he saved Higan from the execution. Because actually, because I don't think you mentioned it, but Sai comes out. So that's who was
gonna do. I apologize. Zai was the one that came out, because if you meant, now I'm glad you mentioned that, because Zai was even like, yeah, it's time for you to die, basically.
He literally said, bro, the line was cold. He said, bro, like your inevitable path to hell, like instant or some shit like that, bro. I was like, hey man, because he said, I read it. I was like, hey yo man, that's kind of hard, bro. Like listen, no cap, bro. So like Lil like was holding him or whatever, and then Zai walks out. He
goes to slash him.
And,
go ahead.
And homie was like, he's bodied at this point. He got his body, and like like when you're like super, or when the anime character's like super weak, and he's just like throwing like super light punches and missing.
Bro, Zai gave him just a body check, bro. It wasn't even a trick for nothing.
He tripped him first, and then just body checked and knocked him on the ground, and then like he pulled out his sword to execution, like cut his head off.
Long ass sword, bro.
Yeah, it was actually a big ass sword.
But okay, so two things I want to mention about Zai. One, that nigga mask is cold. Yeah. Like I love Higan's mask, the red with the fangs, but his shit black with the gold grill, dog.
It is. It's high key fire.
That nigga had his eyes were already white, bro. Like when Higan did his thing.
And I swear, I feel like they were like when they saw each other. But that's like that's like the mask guy though, because we see that with Higan. We see that with Higan all the time too.
Wait, so like, is he just like? Oh, is he always in that state, bro?
Yeah, that'd be wild.
Man.
That would be. But
wild. that was the move where the Exo. So Zai went to go hit him with the sword, and the Exo. I'm guessing the suit probably blocked it with the suit, and then you see them sliding and jumping off of the
off the
of
building,
the building,
throws
which is a
couple
tall ass
bombs.
skyscraper. Like it's a tall ass skyscraper in Japan. So they're jumping off of it, throws a couple bombs to create a distraction.
Well,
And
and he had and that exosuit looks like it planted bombs on the other exosuits.
like it was like do like it had, and because there was a timer on them,
Yep.
there's a little green timer going on them. So like, I don't know who that was. Okay, I think it's Emma, and D-Rain's probably not gonna like it.
Bro,
if it's Emma.
she's a plant, bro. She's a plant. She's a plant, and your allegiance to losers is unsettling right now.
I hate you. I hate you. So
Your
much.
allegiance, your irrational allegiance to losers, bro. I don't know, man. This is not like you. This is not like you. She's a plant.
But if she saves he gone, is she a loser?
Nah, she cool, man.
Yeah, all right.
She cool.
So I think it's that, but it literally ends with like he gone like basically passing out. Like he was reaching because he saw the helicopter. He saw Yamaji. He literally says his name again before he passes out too. He's just like Yamaji. And he's just laying there. But he ends up passing out in the exoskeleton suit, and that's the end of the episode.
You know what made me real mad? When I started watching the episode, it was in English. I was like, what the fuck is this shit, bro? Nah. It sounded weird, bro. Like I think he gone says so. I was like, that's not gone, bro. That's not he gone.
Oh yeah. So that's the end of episode 5. Episode 6
is available.
Dropped today. It is available. It is dropped today. I'm excited to see because he finally got pieced up.
Like
this
pieced up, bro.
Pieced up. I need to figure out who
first
saved
time
him.
Since the first episode.
Yeah, he did get pieced up in the first episode. That was unfair though. That wasn't
fair, bro. He came over the crib in his PJs.
Yeah, bro. He was looking at his dead son and wife, bro.
Anyways,
Hey, I hold that against him. But yeah, so that's this episode. Like this is called Ninja Kamui. It's live every Sunday on episodes drop. I don't know exactly what time, but just know you wake up on Sunday morning, it's on there on HBO Max. You're able to or Max. Sorry, I can't say HBO Max anymore. It's just Max. Yeah, I love it. I'm glad D-Rain is finally like caught up on it, and he is addicted to it just as much as I am. Because
it's good. I can't.
Been there.
This is not something I can watch it for my kids.
Oh no.
I'm logged in on my computer now, so we good.
We good. Yeah. Come go upstairs one night, do a little editing. It's like I got 24 minutes. I can watch this real quick. All right, but yeah, we can move on to
All right. Last topic for the day. Solo Leveling's recent episode. This was much more eventful than I thought it was going to be because the episode is called "What Is This, a Picnic?" or something like that. And remember, if you remember the end of the last episode, Juhi, who we think seems to be like the love interest or the female lead of the show, was saying, hey, remember you're supposed to take me out to dinner or whatever, all dolled up and shit. So we're like, okay, this is probably just gonna be like not a filler episode, but kind of like a side episode that's not gonna really push the story along. It's not necessarily what happened. So like that's how the episode starts. Like they're standing out there, but basically she tells him that she's really not cut out for this and that she's going to retire as a hunter. And she gave him like the essence stone that he gave her towards the end of that first episode when he told her to go and that they would have dinner or whatever. I don't think this is it. I don't think she's retiring. I think she might like retire for a bit, but she'll be back. Like there's no way that she's actually gone in my mind. But that was like the beginning of the episode. But then basically the rest of the episode was more or less Operation Jinho's trying to get the guild. So they meet up in the woods at a gate. If you remember, they have to do 20. He has to do 20 C rank gates in order to become a guild master. They've done the one already. That was when they got jumped by the one crew. And he has to do 19 more. But to enter a C rank gate, they have to have at least 8 people. So Jinho hired 6 people and said, hey, if we just need you to come to these gates to sign up for them, you're not going to go inside. You're not going to fight. You're just going to sit outside, keep watch, and you'll get 3 million, whatever their currency is. They haven't named it. They just say 3 million. 3 million each gate. So they getting paid to literally just sit around. And it's funny because like like at the first gate, they were like, "Yo, are you really about to go do this by yourself?" They're like, "Yeah, we see you sit here." He's like, "Bro, like this is you're stupid. You're an E rank and a D rank. This is dumb." They're like, "Bro, do you want the money or not?" All right, say less. So they're chilling outside, and it's funny because Jinho has a new set of armor. This man got money, bro, because he got
got mad money.
He got mad money because that's the other thing they mentioned is that. So you kind of get an idea of like how like the inner workings of the guild associations work, and it looks like the guilds actually purchase the rights to go into like these specific gates. So these guilds like basically purchase all these gates so they can use to train up their people or whatever. But Jin Ho, because he's wanting to get these 20 out of the way so quickly, is kind of monopolizing everything. And he's paying like, I think they said like 3 times the normal value of what the gates are normally going for. And it's actually affecting the big guilds because they can't use these gates to train up their like lower staff to get better at raiding and shit like that. So that was kind of interesting to hear or whatever. But they're going through, so they're C rank dungeons. So obviously so Jinwoo is he's literally just walking through them. He's walking through them. Jinho is mining all the crystals. And they're clearing these in like an hour or so. When they said normal, like a normal strike team takes about 2 hours to go through a series dungeon, and
he's doing it solo.
He's doing it solo, and he's doing it in half the time. So your boy's up there, and they specify that he believes that he's somewhere between a B and A rank power level wise. He's got the stealth ability that he got from killing Mr. Kang from the last episode. And as he's going through these dungeons, because they go through 3, throughout the day. And he gains a couple other abilities as well. So that's one thing that also, I mean, like he can gain abilities on his own by just leveling up, which I think is kind of interesting. I think we knew that from the dash because I don't think like that was a reward or anything. I think that he just like gained that, but he's gained these other 2 abilities. It was like Fatal Strike and Advanced Dagger Wielding, which I paused it. And Advanced Dagger Wielding basically just gives him like a 20% buff in attack power while he's using a dagger, which is kind of crazy. So I'm gonna get to the last dungeon he goes in a second, but as he's going through, as this is happening, you see this kind of like this suit guy, this corporate guy. That's when we kind of learned about how the dungeon like distribution goes. Is through him, and he recognizes the name and talks about, hey, this guy, this E-rank hunter has survived 3 like terrible catastrophes. So obviously the double dungeon, he survived the double dungeon. He survived the dungeon with what's his face's I forget what the guy's name is, but the little brother, the assassination attempt, more or less the player killers. Yeah, that's what I called them. I called them the player killers. He survived the player killers, and then he also survived Mr. Kang. So he's like, this guy. He thinks that the guy is reawakened. He thinks Sung has reawakened as well, and we find out that he is actually seems to be like a manager in kind of a secondary guild. So the White Tiger Guild is one of the big 5 or big 6 guilds in Japan. And when they were talking about him, they said the White Tiger Guild like second association or something like that. So kind of like a lower tier of it. So he's like, yo, I should snatch up this guy because he seems to be a really good raider, and I think he's reawakened, and I think he's a strong candidate for our guild. So I'm gonna go try and get him to sign him. So he finds them, and he finds out that it looks like Sung is going into these dungeons alone, because that's where the title comes in. Because he gets to the gate site, and he's like, "Yo, like everybody's just sitting out here. What's going on?" And he's like, "Oh my gosh, Sung is in there by himself. This guy is legit."
No. Wait, are you talking about if you're talking about when the guy pulled up and started talking to the E-rank girl?
Yeah.
No, because when we pulled up, the first thing he didn't say that. He said, I remember this because I just watched this morning. He said, "Oh, So he's leaving them here for them to do that shit themselves because he hadn't seen them. And then they remember they came walking out of the portal as soon as he walked away. But when he walks up to her, the first thing he says to her, like before he starts talking to her, he's like, "Oh, so he's leaving them here to do that shit." And so he's like, this is going to be an even bigger thing if I bust this shit open. That's why I was like, oh, so he don't even know, because he didn't know that they were going in by themselves. He thought that Jinhu was leaving all of them to do that shit themselves.
I
promise you.
I'm gonna rewatch it. Because I took it as he saw them, because like that's what he said. He's like, oh, what is this, a picnic? And then he talked to her, and he was like, yo, are you a part of this strike team? And she said, yeah, whatever.
But the portal wasn't open there. You couldn't even see the portal. You know what I mean? Because the portal, you know what I mean? But the portal opened as soon as he left. When she got done talking to him, he turned around. That portal opened, and then Jinhu and Jinho came out. But like the portal, which was weird because the portal usually stays open. There was no portal open when he looked at them on the picnic. They were usually a big ass blue circle sitting right there. Yeah, there was nothing there. So it was just like, you have to rewatch it. But I swear to you, that's what he said to him because he wasn't onto it.
Okay, so but then like he kind of stuck around when Jinho and Jinwoo came out, and he kind of overheard them, and then there's an interaction between him and the manager, because the manager finds Sung at a restaurant and basically tries to poach him. He's like, hey, listen, whatever they're paying you, we'll double it, whatever. And this is like, so Sung, he's like, all right, bet. They're giving me a building that's worth, he's like, how much is y'all's headquarters worth? He's like, oh, like 50 billion, I guess, maybe. He's like, all right, bet. So you're giving me this building then, right? He's like, what? And like, they're in a restaurant, and he's like yelling. He's like, yo, what? And he's like, well, they're giving me their building, and it's worth 30 billion. You said you're gonna double it. You said yours is worth 50, so I just assumed you're gonna give me that, right? And he's like, hey, listen, I can't authorize that transaction. I'm gonna have to get my nah, bro. You're not even the one I'm supposed to be talking to then, bro. So I'm out. And then like that's when he's like, but you know what? How did you find out about me? And then it got really eerie, like when he started talking about that, because he's like, yeah, like he's like, so you were researching me like without my permission? He's like, hey, listen. And then he turned invisible. He used his stealth technique and kind of like sliced his cheek a little bit. He's like, dude was freaking. This manager was freaking for his life, bro. Because he recognized, he's like, yo, that's a stealth ability. Like he should, like this guy shouldn't have this. Like
he even said a reawakening stealth ability.
Yeah, bro. He's like,
yo,
oh,
my bad.
He literally basically said, my bad, bro. He's like, all right, bet. So, but it didn't end there. He did so. Before he met up with the manager, he Jinwoo told Jinho, he's like, hey, listen, if we have gates that we're supposed to do tomorrow, I can't do them because I have something to do. He doesn't say what he has to do, but he says that he's busy. He's like, and Jinho's like, okay, well, I guess I can sell those. He's like, hold off, don't do it just yet. And when we're in this meeting, he basically sells the rights to those 3 gates, because that's kind of when like the whole idea of the guilds not having enough gates to use kind of opens up, because he says basically that the White Tiger Guild, there aren't any gates for them to purchase anymore, because they've been purchasing all of them, and they need those gates in order to trade up their staff or whatever. So Sung is like, okay, well, I'll sell you those gates then. And he gives him the price, and he's like, yo, like that's actually more than like what we normally pay for them. He's like, listen, you can take it or leave it, bro. Or I can, and the guy's fearing for his life because Sung just went invisible and sliced his cheek, so he's not thinking straight anyways. He's like, fine, yeah, I'll do it. He's like, all right, bet. Send me the money in the day today, and the gates are yours. And it fast forwards to the next day, and they've got the money. He's Jinho calls Sung. He's like, yeah, bro, like how did you get them to sell like that quickly? And then he says, for this outrageous price. He made this guy pay, I think it was like 10 times the running value for those, like for those gates. It is absolutely insane. So they made a butt ton of money. Were able to pay off their people, and Sung sends him a text that says, "Now we're even for you spying on me without my permission."
You
Dude got played.
motherfucker.
Dude got
He's like,
played,
that
bro.
man almost killed me and played me. Damn.
But I got his phone number though.
Oh my god.
Like, that's literally what he said. He's like, bro, but I
That's
got his
literally what he
contact
says.
info.
Yeah,
I'll
like
take.
this
He's like, bro, a dub is a dub. It's a dub. I'll take it. I'll take it. But another thing that happens in this episode is that Sung is talking to. This was the guy that did his reawakening test after the double dungeon, and Mr. Kang's superior. He was talking to him, and remember, we realized that he's probably like around an A rank. That's what Sung's perception was able to tell him. But he informed Sung that the younger brother of that player killer, the S rank hunter, is probably after him. Like he was like, listen, like I don't want to say for certain, but if I were you, and he said this, I would take my family and leave the country. Because and he even says, he's like, yo, like the law basically just doesn't apply to S rank hunters because they're that powerful. And he's like, they can basically make miracles happen for us, or they can cause catastrophe for us. And there's really not much that we can do. So now Sung has another reason that he needs to get stronger, because now he knows that he has an S rank hunter after him. So I think those are all the big points.
That is.
Episode. So yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Bro, it's gonna get crazy now because now he knows he's got this dude after him. Mm-hmm.
Now he's got a little bit of time because like when all that went down, the secretary did say, hey, like you're kind of booked solid for a while, so he's got a little bit of time, but Homie needs to level up, bro.
He has been though. He leveled up mad.
He did level up a lot, like throughout these, which was kind of weird because like in the last C rank dungeon, he said, "Yo, this is taking a while for me to level up." But this time, like while he was going through them, now granted, he did go through 3 of them completely by himself.
Yeah.
So understandably, but like I saw at least like 5, 6, 7 different level up screens, whatever, and he got the new abilities and his dash ability leveled up as well. So
Bo's been solo leveling.
So yeah. Another thing that I thought was really interesting is we did get confirmation that Sung's items will work on non-players, because after he sliced Homie's cheek in the restaurant, he gave him a potion that healed him. So that is that is kind of cool. He can get
that to save his mama.
Yeah. Or to just help out people that he's on dungeons with. Yeah. So that's really solid leveling. Yeah, dude, I'm two good shows, 2 really good shows. Definitely,
man.
Definitely
back-to-back days too. Saturdays, Sundays, bro. If you guys get on it, all right, get on it. They're not that long, only 20 minutes each, 25 minutes.
We got a decent amount of episodes for both of them. But yeah, so that's gonna be it. Do you have any? I don't think I can't. I guess I can't call it a recommendation just yet, but I am going to see Kung Fu Panda tomorrow. So
that's a recommendation.
Yeah. Okay.
That was mine.
Yeah.
Go see it.
Bad. Oh no, we already bought the tickets. Tickets already bought. We're definitely going to go see it. Shout out to Loud. They just won 2-0. Looks like one more win and they qualify. We have both America's teams in. So let's go. But yeah, that's gonna be it from us. Unless you have any recommendations, Sam.
Have I seen anything? Oh yes, my recommendation. March 20th, after you're out, do your work, get home, relaxing, kicking up your feet, go ahead and throw on Disney Plus and throw on that X-Men 97 because that's when it drops, baby. That's when it drops, baby.
You're right. Almost forgot. Yeah.
But yeah. Y'all be ready for that. Also, one more other recommendation. Be sure to be on this channel, not only on Friday for Buzzin', but on Saturday, because we're going to do a Hams to Classify this next Saturday.
What? This coming Saturday?
This coming Saturday.
Let's do it.
Like I said on Buzzin' last Friday, it is not about one specific person. Ooh. So there's a little hint. Get your brains turning. But yeah, this next weekend is going to be jam-packed. We're going to have Buzzin', Hams Classified, and RNG. So
always a good
you can see a lot of D-Rain and Ham. Yeah, that's all I got for me. That's it.
All right, cool guys. Thank you for hanging out. Lady Rain, Bing, everybody that came through. We appreciate you, and we will catch you guys next time.
Deuces.
RNG? I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It's
Gets the
gross.
people going.
Random news. RNG. TGP.
TGP
Random news
presents
generator. RNG. RNG. Real nigga
black.
games. Random news. RNG.
black.
Random number generator. RNG. Real nigga games. RNG. TGP.